We are live.
Everybody. Hi, we are live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dr. Chioma Osewingi again for you today. I'm a pediatrician, I'm a mom of three, and also a digital business entrepreneur. Today, we actually chose a topic that might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but yes, we would unwrap it. I just want to welcome all of you. If you're joining us live, you're very much welcome. If you're watching this as a replay, you are very much appreciated as well. As always, on Tuesday, I have Ijeoma here with us, and we will be unpacking this topic. It's a topic that we chose today. It's quite emotional, and this is asking a question: if your job changed tomorrow, what would change in your life? um when somebody asks you this kind of question, nobody ever wants their job to change or anything to happen, but we just want to know. It's not because we expect bad things, but because preparation feels different from panic. And many of us, as immigrants, professionals, parents, we carry a lot of responsibility. And a lot of people most likely depend on us, our children, our family, our relatives back home. The question actually is, do we have options? Ijoma, I'll bring you in on this. Let me ask you, if someone had asked you years ago if your income changed tomorrow, would you have another option? What would your answer have been to them, and what changed your thinking? Yeah. Ijoma, go
Thank
ahead.
you. Thank you, Dr. Chioma. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening from wherever you're joining us from. So my name is Ijeoma Arajimato, based in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. To be frank, if someone had asked me this last 4 or 5 years ago, there was no option for me. That's the truth. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, something changed. I keep saying this. Most of us think that coming to abroad, that is, of course, a greener pasture. Everything is good. Everything feels better. In fact, the best is here, right? But
Mm-hmm.
let's just face it. So also we're experiencing the bills. Everything is just, packing up for us, unlike what we have back home. So when I came here initially, of course, studied, graduated, master's, HR. But what happened? For months, I had no job. And the funny thing there is that with those months that I had nothing to do, the bills kept coming. They never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunities, both from back home, everywhere, they were just there. Nothing stopped. And there was no job. So for me, that was an eye opener. I knew that having an option, honestly, is a necessity. It's no longer a time when you are asking yourself, is it or is it not? It's
Mm-hmm.
in fact, it's a must that you just have to have an option for your own, for the best of your tomorrow to happen to you. So that was what opened my eyes, Dr. And I took that bold leap of faith because myself, I was going to do everything possible to fund my option, my business from my income. And that was in fact, that decision I've never looked back because having an option means what if something nobody prays for that, but what if it happens tomorrow? What will
Right.
happen to you? Will you just go back and fold your arms and be crying and still go back to square one? So for me, that was an eye opener. Thank you.
Yeah, Ijoma, that's very powerful, and it's really good you shared that perspectives. The truth is, many hardworking people are not irresponsible. They are simply busy surviving, and survival mode can actually delay preparation. There is something I often say. I always say having a backup plan doesn't mean that you hate your job. Personally, for me, I'm a pediatrician, and I will always say this: pediatrics gives me a lot of joy, a lot of purpose, a lot of fulfillment. But for many people, it really means, and people when they are trying to diversify, it means building options, because when you have options, it creates peace. Ijoma, I would also go ahead and ask, what would you say to someone who thinks, I would wait until something happens before I start looking for alternatives? What would you respond to the person?
Honestly, my best advice is please do not wait.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly speaking, like you said, Dr. Chioma, most of us immigrant parents are just one email away from anything that could happen to our
Yeah,
organization or to our
that
job.
is the truth. Yeah.
Just one email. Just some of us just one text message away. There could be layoff, other restructuring. There could be so many things that could just happen unplanned. So why wait until we are caught unawares? So the best time to start having an option is now, where you are not under pressure, where you are not under any panic mode, where you are having, that flexibility to be running both your 9 to 5 if you wish, and then that option. And then funding it from an existing income than when it feels so as in so impossible. So the
Mm-hmm.
best time to start having an option is right now, because honestly, it gives you all the flexibility that you can have. It's, oh my goodness, it makes the crisis and depression not come to you at all. You are just, ahead of it, that it never even, come to you. So please don't wait. Now is the right time, not even tomorrow. Now is the right time.
Right. So sometimes when we think about this, if your job changed tomorrow, we just look at life happening from a job perspective. We often forget that there could be other things that we're not even in control of, even if you felt guaranteed with your job. Health, you cannot, it's something that nobody can predict. I mean, it's good that you follow through with your primary care provider to ensure that you're in good health, but life can
Mhm.
happen at any point. Policies in the economy, policies in the nation, anything can happen, anything can change, and any of those things can directly impact you or indirectly impact you. Well, in my own case, I also like to share a personal story regarding this. And I always talk about the fact that a few years ago, I had a stroke. And if a young lady as myself, without any health issues or whatever, or any risk factors, I would say, which is what we always say as medical doctors, could have such an experience that can, really shift my life or make me have a rethink. The only grace I have, and I'm standing right here, is because I really survived with that experience and God was faithful to me. But imagine if something as that happened and I did not have a chance to be able to return back to my very secured career, my very secured job. What would be my situation, my story, my family story, and everyone and all the responsibilities depending on me, right? Um, do you so I would probably ask anyone watching us now, if your primary income, changed tomorrow due to any of these factors that we enumerated, would you feel prepared or will you feel, or pressured? It's not about judging anybody. It's just a matter of having a true reflection of life, and asking yourself, very, personal questions. And just for us, and we're probably going to be wrapping it up here, as we cannot overemphasize the importance of really having this deep thinking. And if for any reason this conversation seemed to resonate with you and you're thinking, I should maybe start preparing differently, that is a good decision. Curiosity is enough. The process to explore what we do, it's really simple. You just reach out. You can either reach out in the comment section of this, this live session, or you can reach out as a message, or you can even check out our website as it's outlined, as we are in this session. And when you input your details on that website, you get a chance to watch the complimentary webinar of this business opportunity. Learn more details for yourself, do your due diligence. It's not about what we say, but it's about information that you get from a knowledge place for yourself. And if everything aligns with your values and your goals, then we are more than happy to guide you and go from there. My last comment would be, preparation doesn't mean that you have fear. Preparation means that you are applying wisdom. Thank you, Ijeoma, for coming on board again, and thank you everyone for watching us today. Thank you.